And even though I didn't win, like that was a little bit disappointing. Obviously, I wanted to be the first curvy woman to win Miss Universe ever. That was my desire. That was my dream. That was what I was achieving towards. But I got top 20, and I kind of won the crowd, in my opinion. I won the crowd. I won the hearts of so many people. And I think that's what matters a lot, because I was able to represent so many types of people all over the world. And a lot of people felt seen and heard from me
Mm-hmm.
just by being on that stage.
Everyone knows Jane Dipika Garrett. She's the unconventional beauty queen of different from, what we consider a Nepali or actually a global beauty queen, right? You see, if you go on social media, you see that some people love her, some people hate her. But I think we should all be super proud of her as a person, as well as what she's achieved. At TGND, the reason we actually wanted to have Jane come on our podcast was to, I think one of the reasons is obviously because she's Miss Universe Nepal, but I think it's so much more than that. We wanted to showcase who she is, the person behind the persona, the title, and also highlight that, this perfect image that we see on social media, especially of people that are, supposed to be perfect, right? Beauty queens and so on. It doesn't have to be that way, especially in 2023, 2024. We can all be vulnerable, flawed, and imperfect in our own ways, but still, be ourselves and be successful. Jane showcases that in terms of her, constant I think the positivity around, like, the body positivity that she brings out, her take on mental health and so much more, I think is something that we all relate with, and I hope that our audience actually connects with that as well. And before we actually go to the episode, I would love to thank our loyal subscribers. There's this small but really mighty group of people that don't miss an episode and are constant cheerleaders and champions. So thank you so much. Let's talk a little bit about your experience. Let's tell us a little bit from, being a nursing student in Kathmandu to being Miss Universe Nepal. What was your journey like? What inspired you to take that, to enter that world?
I was on my self-love journey for many years. I always dealt with like a lot of low self-esteem, with like, really low self-confidence. I didn't really like myself. I didn't like my body. I couldn't even speak to people. It was so hard. I didn't really have people skills before. And I like started studying about the law of attraction and manifestation, and like kind of like creating your own destiny, like we only have one life. Like, why not create your own destiny? Why not create and be the person that you want to be, that you desire to be, instead of just staying victim or staying in the same place? And since I was a child, I've always loved self-improvement and always tried to become better. What's next? What's next? Like, I've always been that way since I was a child. So I kind of like, during that self-love journey, it kind of like took me many, many years to really reach this point where I really love myself. I'm confident in myself. I love my own skin. But the Miss Universe thing was kind of like a stepping stone for me. I went there to Miss Universe Nepal to kind of like gain some confidence, to learn more, get more experience.
Right.
And it really accelerated my growth in a huge level. So that was kind of like my intentions to go to Miss Universe Nepal.
Right.
But I ended up winning.
And we were all cheering for you around the world.
Thank you.
So it's been great.
Yeah.
There are quick questions on this, right? One is just in terms of, I love that you had that self-love, right? You were on that journey. I think it takes a lot of people, a lot of years to be on that journey, right? Because especially for our Nepali community, we put ourselves last in terms of priority, right? That is always, and you're always taking care of others. You're always thinking about अरूले के भन्छ, like, you're trying to please other people, right? So what changed in terms of that shift, right? From a traditional Nepali or Asian or minority or woman way of thinking, of not prioritizing yourself, to being on that self-love journey?
I mean, I kind of grew up in a pretty like tumultuous home because my family, like my father is American, my mother is Nepali, so that's like a cross-cultural marriage, and it is very difficult growing up in that kind of environment, especially like if both the parents are not really used to each other's cultures.
Right.
So I have to grow up with both cultures, American culture, Nepali culture, and my parents would have a lot of disagreements, a lot of, misunderstandings, and it would affect me a lot. And I would sometimes, like as a child, blame myself or be like, oh, like it's my fault, or I'm the bad guy here. Or, like I just grew up with that, like watching that victim mindset with my parents, And so since I was a child, I kind of had that very like low self-esteem, that victim mindset, like put others first, like my needs don't matter, I don't matter, kind of a thing. And I feel like that's also a part of sometimes Nepali culture, like Southeast Asian culture, where in a way you have to put other people first. Like it's the group, it's the community, it's not what you want, it's about what the group wants, And so it took me some time to kind of like shift that and realize like if I don't love myself, how can I love others? How can I give to others? I have to give to myself first.
Right.
And that's so important.
Awesome. No, I think that's super important. And I think it's all your lived experiences, right? Good and bad, that makes you who you are, right? The strength that you can sort of get from it and everything. A follow-up on your Miss Universe experience, right? We've all seen you on stage and, throughout your journey and so on. Now that that is sort of done, what is your learning from it? Going in, what were your expectations? And did you feel like your expectations were met or exceeded, or were there any interesting things that you can share?
At Miss Universe?
At the competition?
What I expected was, I just kept putting myself in that high level of achievement, like I'm going to win. Like that was my expectation. I kept that mindset, like I've already won, I'm going to win. Because if I would have had like a mindset where like, oh, I'm not going to win, like I can't do this, then I wouldn't have achieved as much as I achieved. And even though I didn't win, like that was a little bit disappointing. Obviously, I wanted to be the first curvy woman to win Miss Universe ever. That was my desire. That was my dream. That was what I was achieving towards. But I got top 20 and I kind of won the crowd, in my opinion. I won the crowd. I won the hearts of so many people. And I think that's what matters a lot, because I was able to represent so many types of people all over the world. And a lot of people felt seen and heard from me just by being on that stage.
Right. No, I think that's super important. One sort of question I have अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ is if you look at social media is not really kind, right? I mean, there's people that obviously adore you and are fans and so on. That you also, if you look at comments for anybody that's public, you also see a lot of negativity, a lot of people hiding behind these names and just writing anything, right? It's cruel, it's mean.
Most of them are fake accounts. Like I look at the account, I'm like, it's literally like a spam fake account. I'm like,
exactly.
That's crazy, yeah.
But it's not easy to deal with, right? Especially as you, from being an individual, a private individual, as you move more and more into this public forum, that's something that you have to deal with, right? What is your message to these trolls and these haters that, either use a fake account or are hiding behind this fake name to just, put you down or, put negativity in your, I guess, like, or
I don't have a message to them. I don't even acknowledge them. I think it's just useless to waste your time on negativity. I just keep focusing on my goals. My goal is to build an empire. My goal is to create change in this world, and that's what I'm doing and I'm working towards. So I'm not like, if I focus on the negatives, like that's what I'm gonna get, focus
Exactly.
on the positive, I focus on the good. And what I would say is like, it's really important that we stop bullying because mental health is super, super important, especially in this day and age. So many people are getting diagnosed with depression, anxiety, high levels of stress, and bullying online is a huge um, factor
Mhm.
that can cause mental health issues. And we really need to look at it in a way like do to others as you would have them do to you. You know, if I, apply the golden rule in your life. If you're gonna bully other people, then is that what you want that for yourself?
Mhm.
But that's all I would say. Like, you need to stop bullying. You need to stop putting other people down. Look at yourself in the mirror before you judge others.
Of course. Of course. No, I think that's so right. And I think also with these online personas, I think the perception is also this where people feel like they're just joking. They're just, they're just teasing somebody. Doesn't people don't feel I think the burden or the extent of what their comments and what they're saying and what they're the kind of bullying they're doing, the impact it
Yeah.
has. So it that needs to be talked about as well, right? It just seems
For
so
sure.
harmless, but it's not, right?
Yeah.
um in terms of mental health, I mean, that's obviously such a big thing for our community. And one of the reasons, Jane, that I wanted really you to talk to our community is also because of that, right? I think and we Nepalis are so good at, not talking about negative things, just hiding all these issues, under the rug or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you're out there talking about it, which is so refreshing, which is so needed, right? Um, what are some things within that you think are important within the whole, mental health, the broad sense of mental health that you think are important, and what are some initiatives that you're already, a part of?
Um. Okay. What I think is important, first of all, is that we talk about mental health. We talk about our issues with each other. We be open about it instead of hiding behind a curtain and pretending like everything's fine. We need to really, as a society, as an Nepali society, we need to kind of change that and come together and support each other.
Mhm.
That's super important because that's how mental health can improve. You know,
Right.
I do use social media to try to like, I am slowly, I mean, I have to post a lot every day. I am slowly posting about mental health issues, about
Mhm.
ways to improve your self confidence, your self esteem, different tips like that. So I'm
Right.
using, TikTok, Instagram. I think that's such an important tool right now because the young generation uses social media like 24/7.
Right.
So I use that to kind of like spread my messages, my tips, my guides, things like that. And I also want to work with, when I come back to Nepal, I'm trying to find some organization that I can work with to kind of like help them, give some motivational speeches. I don't know, maybe start a project, a program. I mean, there's a lot of things that I have to do right now, but that is what I would like to do in the future. And I have to plan that more with the Miss Universe Nepal
Of course.
organization. Yeah.
And from TGND's end, this is something so important, mental health. So it's a big initiative we're doing. So any help we can
Mhm.
provide in terms of connecting you to the right people, helping
Mhm.
your voice be amplified and heard, we're there. So, we'll talk more on that later. But I'm so glad you're
Yeah.
doing this. It's definitely
Yeah. I'd love to work with you. That'll be fun.
um, next is just in terms of body positivity, right? It's again so refreshing to see this. We sort of expect it now from, I don't know, the Western world, right? In terms of being comfortable in your skin, being comfortable in your body, and uh, we don't really talk about it in the Nepali, the Asian context, right? We're always seeing flaws. We're always sort of hiding behind it, right? You're such an
Mhm.
advocate for body positivity. It's so. Uh, it was almost a surprise that somebody from Nepal, somebody that has roots in Nepal, actually is teaching the world about body positivity.
Mm.
How, you know again, like, you shared a little bit about your own journey, that how did you come to that journey of acceptance and almost celebrating your own body, and how do you want to address young people who are sort of facing different issues around it?
So since I was a child, I always really didn't like my body. I've always been big boned. I've always had a bigger bone structure. And I think that's because of my American genes, my dad's genes. And living in Nepal, I would compare myself to a lot of the girls because their structure is very petite. Most of the women in Nepal are shorter, they have smaller petite structure, and that's just their genes, you know? But I would always like compare myself and be like, like I'm too fat, I'm too big. And I would starve myself. I would have a lot of negative thinking, like, oh, I'm so ugly, I'm so fat. Oh my gosh, you know? And I had to come to the point where in lockdown, I gained like a lot of weight because of my mental health, because of my PCOS, the hormonal problems. And I was super depressed in lockdown and I gained like 30 pounds. And I came to this point where like it was like a breaking point to me where I was like, I'm either gonna sink or swim, you know, I have to think about it. Either I can just die and become nothing, or I change something. I change my life, I change my mindset, and I do something with my life, you know? And so I had to I started doing a lot of therapy, a lot of affirmations, a lot of healing my trauma, my internal trauma. And I did some journaling. I would talk to myself before my self-talk. I was like, you know how we always talk to ourselves? Like, maybe people don't realize it, but we actually talk to ourselves like every single day, like almost every second on our brain is talking to ourselves with thoughts. And before my thoughts was very, very negative, like, oh, you're ugly, can't do this, all, you know, things like negative things like that. But I started brainwashing my brain with positive thoughts and being like, you know, you are worthy, you're loud and beautiful, you're a princess, you know. I would treat myself how I would want somebody to treat me, or like a man. You know, for example, like we sometimes romanticize being, you know, beautiful and things like that, like a man calling you beautiful, or you know what I mean?
Being loved and being called beautiful, right? Look for external validation, right?
Exactly. But I would do that for myself.
Right.
And I would, you know, take myself on a date, get myself flower, and just smell the flower and be like, like, it's a beautiful pink house. Like, I'll call myself that. And that really healed me as well. I would look in the mirror and I'd be like, well, you're worthy, you're beautiful, and you can do this, you know? Like, I'll just, a lot of positive self-talk. And it was very healing for me. It was a very healing journey. And I started working out at the gym. I started feeling more energetic, more better about myself, you know, taking proper medication, supplements for the PCOS. So it was a mixture of physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental healing for me. You had to look at all the aspects to kind of like reach this point of a higher vibration, you know, a higher version of yourself. And what I would tell people to really love themselves is, I mean, you have to go on this journey. There's no other way. If you were somebody who didn't love yourself, who could not accept yourself, who's not confident, doesn't want self-esteem, and you have to go on this journey, this internal journey, this healing journey of where you are at, and kind of like find yourself and heal and brainwash your brain. It's really important. Affirmations, your thoughts, your thoughts determine your reality, literally.
Right. No, and I love that phrase of brainwashing yourself, right? I think when we hear the word brainwashing, we always hear it in a negative context, right? But I think that unlearning is so important, right? So I love that. I love that. And then you're right. I think everybody has a unique journey, and you can just point out what you need to do, right? But everyone needs to do it on their own. So I think that's super important. Next, say, Jane, in your life, right, whether personally or professionally, have there been influences in Nepali or non-Nepali that have shaped your way of thinking, your way of behaving, or your journey overall?
I had a boyfriend before, and that was during lockdown time, and he was my biggest supporter. Like, he's the one who helped me go to the doctor and find out I had PCOS and I had, mental health issues. And, he really encouraged me to like work on my physical health, my PCOS, my mental health. And sometimes he was hard on me. He was like, you have to do this. Like, he would push me. But I guess I sometimes needed that because I needed to really push myself. And he was like that external support for me, you know.
Nice.
He was always there. He was always there for me. And it was like the most beautiful thing. He really helped and supported me during that time. And I mean, we broke up because I guess, you know, sometimes it can become toxic because I was not the best version of myself.
Exactly.
But
And before you
was,
have self-love,
yeah.
it is part of it, right? No,
Yeah.
but I think you're right. Kati time is saying, you know, before we start believing in ourselves, there has to be somebody somewhere that believes in some version of ourselves.
He literally told me, he would always tell me, like, this is not your life. Like, I know that you're meant to do something big. He would literally tell me that all the time. And I was like, what? Like, I never even believed, like, this was even a year ago, 1 year ago. And in 1 year, my whole life changed. And it's crazy how manifestation, how the law of attraction, how raising your vibration, how working on yourself and going towards your goals changes your entire reality. It's literally, it's crazy. I love it. I'm like obsessed.
No, and it's so powerful. You were like living example of that, right? 1 year isn't a long time at all, but you could really change yourself, right? So that's incredible. And I think you should also, from all of us, I think we should also thank your ex-boyfriend, right? Because sometimes it takes one person to be that catalyst as well, right? In that journey. So that's incredible. Is there anybody else that sort of has helped you on your journey?
So during my pageant journey, there was this person online that would always give me tips and kind of like guide me on how to act, what to do, the things to say, how to walk. So he would always watch my social media and he would guide it exactly on what I need to do. So that really helped me because during the pageant, like I didn't have anybody to guide me, and he was always there to kind of like give me tips and things like that. So that really helped me. That was like really he was like my rock during the pageant. And he was Nepali.
Oh, awesome. So it's good that Nepalis have also shaped your journey and everything. Next, there's obviously a lot of people, Nepali and non-Nepali. Let's talk about the Nepali diaspora that are all over the world, especially the younger generation that really look up to you. As we're all very proud of you, Jane, that, I think in terms of the younger generation, there's obviously this element of inspiration as well, right? What do you want to share with them in terms of what is your message for them?
The message was simple. Go after your dreams with that risk and create your own destiny. Anything's possible when you just believe and you work hard for it.
Awesome. And you're a living, breathing example of that. So, so that's fantastic. I think what we'll do next is we have a rapid fire section. It's going to be about 10 questions, Jane. Very simple ones. Don't have to overthink it. I'll just ask a question and you just say the first phrase or word that comes to your mind. Okay? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Your dream vacation spot?
Dubai.
Awesome. I love Dubai too. It's fantastic. One thing that women should unlearn.
Self-criticism.
Sorry, say that again.
Self-criticism and judging others.
Exactly. We need it desperately. Next, what is your favorite word or phrase that you keep on using?
Habibi, come to Dubai. That's always in my head. I really want to go to Dubai. I'm going.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
Awesome. No, you have to make it happen. We have to manifest it right here so that it actually happens.
It's happening. Yeah.
And we have a very vibrant community of the Great Nepali diaspora in Dubai. People would love you. So we'll make it happen. You'll have a blast. Next question, somebody you look up to.
Rihanna. And Ashley Graham.
Nice. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm more of a night owl. Like I'm a light at night.
And next is, do you have a guilty pleasure TV show that you're watching right now?
No, I don't really watch TV.
But do you have a favorite movie? What do you like?
I really like the Hunger Games. I don't know why. I'm obsessed with the Hunger Games since I was a child. I kind of always would relate to Katniss, kind of like, she I don't know how to explain it. I just would relate to that character.
Of course.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. What are, 3 things in your purse that you can't leave home without?
Lip gloss, my lip gloss, my AirPods, and I guess I always carry like rings and stuff. I don't know why. I decided to put rings in my purse. I love rings.
Awesome. Awesome. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I think I'd be mind control.
Mm. We need that. If we could control all the men in the world.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That would be powerful. It would make a lot of wrong in the
world,
right? Next, if you go for karaoke, what is your go-to song?
So I genuinely don't know. I usually listen to rap, so I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's
I can't choose because I have so much music.
Yeah. That's completely fine. Last question on this.
I'm a Libra. Right? So I'm a Libra, so I kind of like experience like my indecisiveness and like I can't choose stuff.
No, but I mean,
I'm like, just give me everything, or like, can I have both? Like,
but even with that, you're making the right choices for the right thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just like in these like basic things I can't choose, but then like big things like I make the most objective decisions. So I think that's a big strength of Libras. Yeah,
I think so. And then also, in a way, it also talks about how do you leverage your strengths, right? How do you really understand who you are as a person in terms of, not just your signs, but also your personality, your upbringing, everything, really understanding that and then taking that forward. I think that's super important, right?
Yeah. What's your sign?
Mine is, what is it? Oh my God.
When's your birthday?
August. So
Leo. Or August what?
9th.
Leo. I knew you were a Leo. I knew it. I don't know why.
What makes it so obvious?
I don't know. You gave off that Leo vibe. I can just sometimes tell. I'm weird. I'm like a low-key astrologer chick, so.
Awesome. No, I have some traits of Aries as well. So there's some things. But this was so great, Jane. We loved talking to you. But is there something, you've now been on this, 1-year journey, but it's been more for you, right? On a personal level. Publicly, you've been on this journey for a year. I'm sure
publicly, it's kind of been like 3 months.
Right.
Technically, yeah.
Right. But I mean, like, just the self-love, just the lows and highs, you've gone through it, right? And I think sometimes it's so unfair that the world sees the good parts of it, right? When when you have a crown, when you have a title, people don't really see when when you have low points, right? But what I really love about your journey, Jane, is that you've been able to talk about those as well, right? And I think that's super important. Even with our podcast, what we want to really showcase isn't just this face or this name, right? I think what's really important is the person behind it, the good and the bad, right? This messy people that we all are. So thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And to all our guests, all our members, thank you for listening in. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.